Used to do pageants. Deck the halls with flowers of holly. I love that little run over there. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I think we're on, darlings. I think we're on. I think we're back in the business. Let me get YouTube. Double check YouTube. I thought I just saw YouTube. No. The halls with boughs of holly. Stella has left and Stella is back on the tube. Hi, darling. Yay! Y'all could not hear the song, but here I am, rocking around the Christmas tree with Miss Brenda Lee, serenading me. Hey, Kelly, are you gonna be crocheting tonight? Now that we are back in business, let us get to reading, shall we? Welcome in, friends. My name is Denise. Oh, Kelly, what are you crocheting, darling? What are you making? Are you doing any gifts? I am slacking. I haven't knit anything for anybody in the longest time. I have one thing I'm supposed to be knitting. I bought the yarn for it to test, and it's still sitting in the bag in my room. Ooh, I want to learn how to crochet a hat, and I found a very gorgeous crochet scarf that I also want to hooks, and I don't even know where I put them. I put a nice set, and I don't know where I put them. So, lurkers tonight for Christmas Eve. Welcome in, lurkers. We love you, lurkers up in YouTube. Don't be shy. Come on. Yeah, I know. A friend challenged me to try crochet. I used to crochet. Crochet was the very first handicraft that I learned, but I didn't learn it properly. Like, I wasn't taught this is what a single crochet is, this is what a double crochet, this is what a half double crochet. You have the hook, you have yarn. If you pull, something comes out. So I just kept doing it, right? And I would make these tablecloths and blankets that would be all roughly, because of course the stitch count changes every round. I was just doing whatever you want. And so sometime in 2012, 2013, a friend asked me to crochet these like little, I know it was like everything I crocheted became roughly. And I was using like bright pink, neon orange, neon green acrylic yarn in hot Ghana. Can you imagine? So sometime in 2012, 2013, a friend of mine wanted me to crochet necklines for her. And so I bought the Vogue crochet stationery, and I went through and I crocheted these really beautiful, intricate things. Like, I remember there was one that was like a red and gold granny square neckline. I did that, and then promptly forgot again how to read crochet patterns because I didn't do it often. But when I was finishing college, my supervisor in college taught me how to knit. And right afterwards, I had to travel for like a year doing research. And so every time I got on a plane or a train, I would be knitting. So I did more knitting than crochet. So I'm way more comfortable now knitting. But I want to come back to it. I have a whole set of hooks. I've bookmarked patterns that I want to crochet. I even got one of the Wooble set. Actually, not even just one. I got like a set of 5 to do with my son. I thought if I could do with my son. It's still unopened. It's been like 2 or 3 years. It's still unopened. So you inspire me is what I'm trying to say. What is the schedule for Christmas Eve and Christmas? I'm probably not going to be on. Um, listen, Kelly, where in the world? And I have so much yarn, and I've just rearranged and moved all my yarn out so I could put my voiceover booth in. So I really honestly cannot tell you where my hooks are. Stella, I'm probably not going to be on tomorrow or Thursday. Maybe during the day I'll pop in, but I'm not going to be doing any reading. So I'll miss you all till next week. So that's the schedule. That is my schedule. Cupcake Malimu. I love that name. Love it, love it, love it. Welcome in. Tonight we are going to be reading from one of these Christmas stories. I found them on Project Gutenberg. Today's first story that I found is called The Cricket on the Hearth. And I'm saying hearth, which I think is a British pronunciation. Please bear with me. My pronunciation goes between British pronunciation, American pronunciation, and pronunciation that I make up, which is like an amalgamation of the two. So let me double check. Some people say hearth, but then I know hearth. Okay. American pronunciation is, I was right. It is hearth. American pronunciation is hearth. Okay. I was doubting myself. Here we go. And then British is hearth. The American one has an R in it. Hearth. British is hearth. Hearth. Huh? Hearth. Okay. So hearth. We're going with hearth. Okay. We're going to go with hearth. All right. The Cricket on the Hearth, A Fairy Tale of Home by Charles Dickens, which I never heard of. Hey, Sarah Rose. So we're going to do that. If you like this vibe, I was going to say grab your kids, grab your wife, and that's because of Stella. Stella, that's still what I want to say. That is not what I want to say. Grab your drinks, grab your snuggle bunnies, get comfy cozy, and let us read together, yeah? Grab your craft, whatever it is you're doing to keep yourself engaged and settled and soothed tonight during the holidays. I know the holidays can be challenging for some people because this is life we're doing, and life is not always a fairy tale, is it? It's not. And for some, they might not have any family or relatives close by they can visit, or they're not on good terms with them anymore. For some, it just brings up bad memories, you know? And whether we like it or not, time keeps going, the year keeps going, and then we hit this time. And for a lot of people, it is a lovely time, it is a beautiful time, and for some it isn't. So however you are experiencing it, I hope that you can hang out with us for just a little bit. Yeah, the holidays, just hang out with us. We have no requirements for anything of you. Just do what you need to do. Craft, drink some tea, drink something else if that's what you're indulging in. Get comfy cozy, just relax. I hear that I can put you to sleep. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not. But if today my voice puts you to sleep, I'm like, puts you to sweet. Wouldn't that be great? I can put you to sweet. If my reading or my voice puts you to sleep, if the vibe puts you to sleep, go for it. Get some rest, okay? There is no requirement. And also, I started very late, so we're probably only going to be able to do one story. And then I haven't even eaten. I kept meaning to finish cooking. I kept meaning to put the cakes in the oven. The cake was going to take an hour, so I'd put the cake in the oven and go get my workout and shower, which I could have done in 1 hour. But no, I decided to dice sweet potatoes. So who's the idiot? This one here. Anyway, enjoy my little elf ears. Let us read The Cricket on the Hearth, A Fairy Tale of Home by Charles Dickens. I did taste. I ate 2 of the banana muffins. I ate a small slice of the Kentucky butter cake. What else did I try? I tried the roasted sweet potatoes, delicious. I tried 2 slices of the bread with some salted butter. Oh yeah. So I've been nibbling. I've been doing a little nibble, you know. Little nibble here and there. Okay, I have never heard of this story. Has anyone read it before? See, that's food. I know it is food. But I haven't sat down and been like, okay, this is my meal. I have some leftover rice and basil chicken and broccoli and cauliflower that I was gonna eat, and I had like my mind set on it, but it's still in the fridge. Because I didn't want to eat and get full. I'm like, I'm gonna work out and come and eat, because I found a 20-minute workout class, strength class, with some really, really banging music. So I'm like, yeah, that's the workout that's gonna get me back into my groove. And then I didn't. Anyway, The Cricket on the Hearth by Charles Dickens. Here we go. A Fairy Tale of Home, 11th edition. Printed and published for the author by Bradbury and Evans, 90 Fleet Street and Whitefriars in London. To Lord Geoffrey, this little story is inscribed with the affection and attachment of his friend, the author. December 1845. Wow. That's so many years ago. All right. Chirp the First. Mrs. Peerybingle may leave it on record to the end of time that she couldn't say which of them began it. But I say the kettle did. I ought to know, I hope. The kettle began it, full 5 minutes by the little waxy-faced Dutch clock in the corner before the cricket uttered a chirp. As if the clock hadn't finished striking, and the convulsive little haymaker at the top of it, jerking away right and left with the scythe in front of a Moorish palace, hadn't mowed down half an acre of imaginary grass before the cricket joined in at all. Why, I am not naturally positive. Everyone knows that. I wouldn't set my own opinion against the opinion of Mrs. Peerybingle unless I were quite sure on any account whatever. Nothing should induce me. I'm going to check how to pronounce this person's name. Peerybingle. Never heard this name before. Peerybingle from Dickens is pronounced like Peer-e-bingle, rhyming with Fairy-bingle. Okay, sure. Pull. Oh, all right. Worked. Nana Jan, we are reading a story called... What's the story called again? The Cricket in the Hearth. Let me zoom in a bit because the font is tiny. Zoom in. Okay, here we go. Just trying to figure out how to say Peerybingle. Nothing should induce me, but this is a question of fact. And the fact is that the kettle began it, at least 5 minutes before the cricket gave any sign of being in existence. Contradict me and I'll say 10. Let me narrate exactly how it happened. I should have proceeded to do so in my very first word, but for this plain consideration. If I am to tell a story, I must begin at the beginning. And how is it possible to begin at the beginning without beginning at the kettle? It appeared as if there were a sort of match or trial of skill, you must understand, between the kettle and the cricket. And this is what led to it and how it came about. Mrs. Peerybingle going out into the raw twilight and clicking over the wet stones in a pair of pattens that worked innumerable blah blah blah. That worked innumerable rough impressions of the first proposition in Euclid all about the yard. Mrs. Peerybingle filled the kettle at the water butt, presently returning less the pattens, and a good deal less, for they were tall and Mrs. Peerybingle was but short. She set the kettle on the fire, in doing which she lost her temper or mislaid it for an instant, for the water being uncomfortably cold, and in that slippy, slushy, sleety sort of state wherein it seems to penetrate through every kind of substance, pattern rings included, had laid hold of Mrs. Peerybingle's toes, and even splashed her legs. And when we rather plume ourselves, with reason too, upon our legs, and keep ourselves particularly neat in point of stockings, we find this, for the moment, hard to bear. Besides, the kettle was aggravating and obstinate. It wouldn't allow itself to be adjusted on the top bar. It wouldn't hear of accommodating itself kindly to the knobs of coal. It would lean forward with a drunken air and dribble, a very idiot of a kettle, on the hearth. It was quarrelsome and hissed and spluttered morosely at the fire. To sum up all, the lid, resisting Mrs. Peerybingle's fingers, first of all turned topsy-turvy, and then, with an ingenious pertinacity deserving of a better cause, dived sideways in, down to the very bottom of the kettle. And the hull of the Royal George has never made half the monstrous resistance to coming out of the water which the lid of that kettle employed against Mrs. Peerybingle before she got it up again. It looked sullen and pig-headed enough, even then, carrying its handle with an air of defiance, and cocking its spout pertly and mockingly at Mrs. Peerybingle, as if it said, "I won't boil, nothing shall induce me." But Mrs. Peerybingle, with restored good humour, dusted her chubby little hands against each other, and sat down before the kettle, laughing. Meantime, the jolly blaze uprose and fell, flashing and gleaming on the little haymaker at the top of the Dutch clock, until one might have thought he stood stock-still before the Moorish palace, and nothing was in motion but the flame. He was on the move, however, and had his spasms, 2 to the second, all right and regular. But his sufferings when the clock was going to strike were frightful to behold. And when a cuckoo, right? Sometimes your brain is like cuckoo. Let's do American pronunciation. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Yeah, cuckoo. Okay. Hi, quilting cats and bats. Welcome in and welcome back. Oh, but of course, Peachy, but of course. Did I do that? Oh, my God, I rubbed against my mic. Oh, sorry about that. Let me see. Is the sound okay? It is. Okay. Am I live yet? Okay. All right, there we go. All right. But his sufferings when the clock was going to strike were frightful to behold. And when a cuckoo looked out of a trapdoor in the palace and gave note 6 times, it shook him each time like a spectral voice, or like a something wiry plucking at his legs. It was not until a violent commotion and a whirring noise among the weights and ropes below him had quite subsided that this terrified haymaker became himself again. Nor was he startled without reason, for these rattling, bony skeletons of clocks are very disconcerting in their operation, and I wonder very much how any set of men, but most of all how Dutchmen, can have had a liking to invent them. For there is a popular belief that Dutchmen love broad cases and much clothing for their own lower selves, and they might know better than to leave their clocks so very lank and unprotected, surely. Now it was, you observe, that the kettle began to spend the evening. Now it was that the kettle, growing mellow and musical, began to have irrepressible gurglings in his throat, and to indulge in short vocal snorts, which it checked in the bud, as if it hadn't quite made up its mind yet to be good company. Now it was that after 2 or 3 such vain attempts to stifle its convivial sentiments, it threw off all moroseness, all reserve, and burst into a stream of song so cozy and hilarious. Hilarious, right? Hilarious. Oh my God. Today my brain is just messing up every word like I don't know English. Hilarious. Hilarious. There you go. I was saying what? Hilarious? Oh my Lord. Bless. I need food. That's what I need. I need me some food. Hilarious. There we go. And burst into a stream of song so cozy and hilarious as never maudlin nightingale yet formed the least idea of. So plain, too. Bless you. You might have understood it like a book, better than some books you and I could name, perhaps, with its warm breath gushing forth in a light cloud which merrily and gracefully ascended a few feet, then hung about the chimney corner as its own domestic heaven. It trolled its song with that strong energy of cheerfulness that its iron body hummed and stirred upon the fire, and the lid itself, the recently rebellious lid, such is the influence of a bright example, performed a sort of jig, and clattered like a deaf and dumb young cymbal that had never known the use of its twin brother. That this song of the kettles was a song of invitation and welcome to somebody out of doors, to somebody at that moment coming on, towards the snug small home and the crisp fire, there is no doubt whatever. Mrs. Peerybingle knew it perfectly as she sat musing before the hearth. "It's a dark night," sang the kettle, "and the rotten leaves are lying by the way, and above all is mist and darkness, and below all is mire and clay. And there's only one relief in all the sad and murky air, and I don't know that it is one, for it's nothing but a glare of deep and angry crimson, where the sun and wind together set a brand upon the clouds for being guilty of such weather. And the widest open country is a long dull streak of black, and there's hoar frost on the finger post and thaw upon the track. And the ice, it isn't water, and the water isn't free. And you couldn't say that anything is what it ought to be, but he's coming. And here, if you like, the cricket did chime in with a chirp, chirp, chirp of such magnitude, by way of chorus, with a voice so astoundingly disproportionate to its size as compared with the kettle size, you couldn't see it, that if it had then and there burst itself like an overcharged gun, if it had fallen a victim on the spot and chirped its little body into 50 pieces, it would have seemed a natural and inevitable consequence for which it had expressly labored. The kettle had had the last of its solo performance. It persevered with undiminished ardor, but the cricket took first fiddle and kept it. Good heaven, how it chirped! Its shrill, sharp, piercing voice resounded through the house and seemed to twinkle in the outer darkness like a star. There was an indescribable little trill and tremble in it at its loudest, which suggested its being carried off its legs and made to leap again by its own intense enthusiasm. Yet they went very well together, the cricket and the kettle. The burden of the song was still the same, and louder, louder, louder still, they sang it in their emulation. Hi, Tracy. The fair little listener, for fair she was, and young, though something of what is called the dumpling shape. Time out. Charles Dickens is rude. What is a dumpling shape, and who asked you, bro? That's rude. Leave her alone. So mean, dumpling shape. She's comfy, cozy. Leave her alone. The fair little listener, for fair she was, and young, though something of what is called the dumpling shape. But I don't myself object to that. Lighted a candle, glanced at the haymaker on the top of the clock, who was getting in a pretty average crop of minutes, and looked out of the window, where she saw nothing, owing to the darkness, but her own face imaged in the glass. And my opinion is, and so would yours have been, that she might have looked a long way and seen nothing half so agreeable. When she came back and sat down in her former seat, the cricket and the kettle were still keeping it up with a perfect fury of competition. The kettle's weak side clearly being that he didn't know when he was beat. There was all the excitement of a race about it. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Cricket a mile ahead. Hum, hum, hum. Kettle making play in the distance like a great top. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Cricket round the corner. Hum, hum, hum. Kettle sticking to him in his own way. No idea of giving in. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Cricket fresher than ever. Hum, hum, hum. Kettle slow and steady. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Cricket going in to finish him. Hum, hum, hum. Kettle not to be finished. Until at last they got so jumbled together in the hurry-scurry helter-skelter of the match that whether the kettle chirped and the cricket hummed, or the cricket chirped and the kettle hummed, or they both chirped and both hummed, it would have taken a clearer head than yours or mine to have decided with anything like certainty. But of this there is no doubt, that the kettle and the cricket, at one and the same moment, and by some power of amalgamation best known to themselves, sent each his fireside song of comfort streaming into a ray of the candle that shone out through the window, and a long way down the lane. And this light, bursting on a certain person who, on the instant, approached towards it through the gloom, expressed the whole thing to him, literally in a twinkling, and cried, "Welcome home, old fellow! Welcome home, my boy!" This end attained, the kettle being dead beat, boiled over, and was taken off the fire. Mrs. Peerybingle then went running to the door, where, what with the wheels of a cart, the tramp of a horse, the voice of a man, the tearing in and out of an excited dog, and the surprising and mysterious appearance of a baby, there was soon the very what's-his-name to pay. Where the baby came from, or how Mrs. Peerybingle got hold of it in that flash of time, I don't know. But a live baby there was in Mrs. Peerybingle's arms, and a pretty tolerable amount of pride she seemed to have in it, when she was drawn gently to the fire by a sturdy figure of a man much taller and much older than herself, who had to stoop a long way down to kiss her. But she was worth the trouble. 6'6" with a lumbago might have done it. I'm going to check the pronunciation of that word again. Lumbago, lumbago. I'm telling you, every time, every time I doubt myself, I go check. It's like the second thing, lumbago, lumbago. Y'all know what it is? Lumbago, pain in the muscles and joints of the lower back. I get that a lot. I woke up this morning with a terrible lumbago, making it almost impossible to get out of bed. It's synonymous with backache, back pain, and a bad back. Ooh. We all learned something new today, friends. Lumbago. 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 Love it. Excuse me. Lumbago. All right, here we go. But she was worth the trouble. 6'6" with the lumbago might have done it. "Oh, goodness, John," said Mrs. P. "What a state you're in with the weather." He was something the worse for it, undeniably. The thick mist hung in clots upon his eyelashes like candy thaw, and between the fog and fire together, there were rainbows in his very whiskers. "Why, you see, Dot," John made answer slowly as he unrolled a shawl from about his throat and warmed his hands. It ain't exactly summer weather, so no wonder." "I wish you wouldn't call me Dot, John. I don't like it," said Mrs. Peerybingle, pouting in a way that clearly showed she did like it very much. "Why, what else are you?" returned John, looking down upon her with a smile, and giving her waist as light a squeeze as his huge hand and arm could give. "A Dot and—" here he glanced at the baby. "A Dot and Carrie. I wouldn't say it, for fear I should spoil it, but I was very near a joke. I don't know as ever I was nearer." He was often near to something or other very clever, by his own account. This lumbering, slow, honest John. This John so heavy, but so light of spirit, so rough upon the surface, but so gentle at the core, so dull without, so quick within, so stolid, but so good. Oh, Mother Nature, give thy children the true poetry of heart that hid itself in this poor carrier's breast. He was but a carrier, by the way, and we can bear to have them talking prose and leading lives of prose, and bear to bless thee for their company. It was pleasant to see Dot, with her little figure and her baby in her arms, a very doll of a baby, glancing with a coquettish thoughtfulness at the fire, and inclining her delicate little head just enough on one side to let it rest in an odd, half-natural, half-affected, wholly nestling and agreeable manner on the great rugged figure of the carrier. It was pleasant to see him, with his tender awkwardness, endeavoring to adapt his rude support to her slight need, and make his burly middle age a leaning staff not inappropriate to her blooming youth. It was pleasant to observe how Tilly Slowboy, waiting in the background for the baby, took special cognizance, though in her earliest teens, of this grouping, and stood with her mouth and eyes wide open, and her head thrust forward, taking it in as if it were air. Nor was it less agreeable to observe how John the carrier, reference being made by Dot to the aforesaid baby, checked his hand when on the point of touching the infant, as if he thought he might crack it, and bending down, surveyed it from a safe distance, with a kind of puzzled pride, such as an amiable mastiff might be supposed to show if he found himself one day the father of a young canary. "Ain't he beautiful, John? Don't he look precious in his sleep?" "Very precious," said John. "Very much so. He generally is asleep, ain't he?" Lord John, good gracious, no. Oh, said John, pondering. I thought his eyes was generally shut. Halloa! Goodness, John, how you startle one. It ain't right for him to turn 'em up in that way, said the astonished carrier, is it? See how he's winking with both of them at once? And look at his mouth. Why, he's gasping like a gold and silver fish. You don't deserve to be a father, you don't, said Dot, with all the dignity of an experienced matron. But how should you know what little complaints children are troubled with, John? You wouldn't so much as know their names, you stupid fellow. And when she had turned the baby over on her left arm and had slapped its back as a restorative, she pinched her husband's ear, laughing. No, said John, pulling off his outer coat. It's very true, Dot. I don't know much about it. I only know that I've been fighting pretty stiffly with wind tonight. It's been blowing northeast straight into the cart the whole way home. Poor old man, so it has, cried Mrs. Peerybingle, instantly becoming very active. Here, take the precious darling, Tilly, while I make myself of some use. Bless it, I could smother it with kissing it. I could. Hi then, good boy. Hi, boxer boy. Only let me make the tea first, John, and then I'll help you with the parcels, like a busy bee. How doth the little... and all the rest of it, you know, John. Did you ever learn how doth the little when you went to school, John? Not to quite know it, John returned. I was very near it once, but I should only have spoilt it, I dare say. Laughed Dot. She had the blithest little laugh you ever heard. What a dear old darling of a dunce you are, John, to be sure. Not at all disputing this position, John went out to see that the boy with the lantern, which had been dancing to and fro before the door and window like a will-o'-the-wisp, took due care of the horse, who was fatter than you would quite believe, if I gave you his measure, and so old that his birthday was lost in the mist of antiquity. Boxer, feeling that his attentions were due to the family in general, and must be impartially distributed, dashed in and out with bewildering inconstancy, now describing a circle of short barks around the horse, where he was being rubbed down at the stable door, now feigning to make savage rushes at his mistress, and facetiously bringing himself to sudden stops, now eliciting a shriek from Tilly Slowboy in the low nursing chair near the fire, by the unexpected application of his moist nose to her countenance, now exhibiting an obtrusive interest in the baby, now going round and round upon the hearth, and lying down as if he had established himself for the night, now getting up again, and taking that nothing of a fag end of a tail of his out into the weather, as if he had just remembered an appointment and was off at a round trot to keep it. There's the teapot ready on the hob, said Dot, as briskly busy as a child at play at keeping house. And there's the cold knuckle of ham, and there's the butter, and there's the crusty loaf and all. Here's a clothes basket for the small parcels, John, if you've got any there. Where are you, John? Don't let the dear child fall under the grate, Tilly, whatever you do. Should we end here so people can go to bed? What do y'all think? This is a very interesting story. Oh my God. It has 174 pages, so we could be reading this till the end of the new year, friends. What do you think? Let's end here. And I don't think it has chapters. Let's see. Oh. Yeah. I don't think it has chapters. Well, it does. It does. We're still on chapter 1. We're still on chapter 1. Let me see. Let me see if I can see where chapter 2 starts. Okay, give me a second. I know, Peachy. The Cricket on the Hearth. I kind of want to record this story. It's hilarious. Oh no. We have gotten to chapter 2. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Let me see if I can get the ebook version. Okay. Because if I say read now, that's when it does all that and doesn't really give me. But if I send it to Kindles, I can send it to Kindle. Okay, I will do that so that we can see what chapters. But yeah, it is nice and long. Alrighty, what do y'all think? What do you want to do? Should we try to read some more, or should we stop and continue next week? Okay, we have John's arrival. Okay. We are on page 19 of the story, which is, they don't give the numbers. Oh, you know what it is? It's not chapters. It's the artwork. It's the artwork. It's the artwork. It is the artwork. Stella, did you head out yet? You're down to keep going? Or you don't have a preference? It's a very interesting story. I have never heard of it. Have you heard of it before? Oh, I thought you were going to go, Stella. I thought you had to leave early today. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a good stopping point. You know what? I feel like where we are is a good stopping point. We are reading The Cricket on the Hearth. I know. And the hum of a kettle as a race. I love that kind of nonsense. I really do. Such imagery. The hum and the chirp, chirp, chirp. I enjoy it. That was silly. I love that. So I will create a nice little I will try to create a nice little banner for this for next week, and we can do that. We can check it. But friends, I'm going to end the reading here actually. And while y'all are on, right, no, he got me good. I was enjoying that. While y'all are on, I was going to say while y'all are on, I want to go try and cover the event and see if we can hear any noticeable difference. So let's see. Hold on. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. The cover. I will have to cut it maybe, because it's a little bit bigger than whatever. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna put it on. Let me know if you hear any change in the sound. I will zip this up too, and then I'll try to do a sample recording to see if that makes any difference. Holy cow, it sounds like the vent is off. Okay. Okay. We're gonna try. I'm gonna pull up my Studio One and I will read. Oh, what's that? Okay, let's get a new one. Let's create a new sample. New sample. Alrighty. Hey Darian. I'm gonna check what my sound levels look like. He also said I sound like I'm right here, so I'm so sorry for my friends on YouTube. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna pull the mic up a little bit. Okay, let's see. Alrighty. And I'm gonna read. He just wanted a 30-second sample. I'm going to read 30 seconds of this thing. I'm gonna give 10 seconds of room tone and then I'm gonna record. So just bear with me while I try this and see if we can hear any improvement. Okay? All right, I'm about to record. Here we go. Hi, welcome in, friends. Okay, hold on. I just made a mouth noise. We're gonna start all over again. Ready, steady, go. It may be noted of Miss Slowboy, in spite of her rejecting the caution with some vivacity, that she had a rare and surprising talent for getting this baby into difficulties, and had several times imperiled its short life, in a quiet way peculiarly her own. She was of a spare and straight shape, this young lady, insomuch that her garments appeared to be in constant danger of sliding off those sharp pegs, her shoulders, on which they were loosely hung. All right, I'm gonna play it and see what I sound like. Okay, I think I can zoom in on the, let's see. It may be noted of Miss Snowboy, in spite of her rejecting the caution with some vivacity, that she had a rare and surprising talent for getting. Hey, Sonia. And had several times imperiled its short life in a quiet way. It sounds good, but I'm still new, so my ears are like, hey. Hi, Melanie. What am I trying to get? I want to view the thingy. Okay. I'm going to export it. Let's see. View. Editor, inspector, browser tabs. Show. Additional views. Zoom. Zoom in. Alrighty, how do you zoom in? Here I zoom. Is that the zoom? Okay, that's the zoom. Okay. Let me export it. Mark and export. Active track. I'm gonna save it as a WAV file. I'm also going to save it as a when I played it back, YouTube and IG, could you hear it or no? I'm gonna try again. Mark and export, save as a MP3, and then I'm gonna try and play it. Okay, so let's see. All right, and so in order to play it, hold on, I'm gonna set my playback as my MacBook Pro speakers. Okay, let me go back. Let's see if when I play you can hear. Let me know if you can hear it, okay? Oh, you won't be able to hear it. You won't be able. I just remembered you won't be able to hear it because I remember why. Okay, because I'm doing this on the Streamlabs desktop, you're not going to be able to hear it. Okay. Okay. If I do desktop audio, bum 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 bum, get up, get on up, get up, get on up. Fine. Alrighty, audio input capture. Is that the one we're using? Yeah. Audio monitoring, monitor and output. Hello? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Can you hear it? I think y'all can hear something, right? YouTube can hear, TikTok can hear, Twitch can hear, IG, anyone. My voice sounds so deep. Ooh, hello. How you doing? Can you hear? Yes, okay. All right, let's see. I'm gonna play the thingy. Let's play it. Can you hear it playing back? I don't think so. Okay, hold on. I don't think so. I can hear myself echoing though. Alright, here we go. Let's play it. I see the sample. Open with. Something happened on the computer and now everything is called .app. I don't understand why. Today. Okay, is this it? Get on up. Alright, this one here. It's still playing into here. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, friends. But yeah, you hear the echo. Let me fix it because it was doing the monitoring thing. If I do that, yeah, there we go. Well, what I can do, I hope y'all can still hear me. Hey, Tina. What I can do is there's a website that is managed by this lovely man called Don. Stella, the echo should be gone now, right? His name is Don Barnes, and he has an audible check. Don Barnes. So I'm gonna, yeah, Red Barnes. Let me go. He has this tool where you can check your voice. Yeah. Always testing. The other thing I need to do once we're done, I'm gonna I took a class that I finished a couple of weeks ago. It was beautiful, great audiobook class. Oh, okay, the echo isn't bothersome. I still need to spend time to figure out how I can pipe music through for y'all to listen. Um, the teacher had a handout and an article on how to properly place your mic and how far to stand away from your mic. And so one of the pieces of feedback I received yesterday when I met with the audio engineer was that I sounded like I was all up in, my mic's grill. So he was like, you recording? Where's your mic? And I'm standing lit same way. And I was like, no, my mic is over here. So that's why I moved it up a little bit. So I need to review whatever article he sent and see if I can adjust my mic placement to see if that helps with all that. But let's see. He also has here we go. Pre-check, free tool for checking audiobook chapters. So let me drag and drop where's the recording that I just did? Let me pull that bad boy up here and see if we can test it. Okay. Check files. Let's see. Oh my God. Head is too long. It's too noisy, too loud. I still failed. My room tone is too loud. I have to be below 60 dB. And I am not. Let's see. What did I do? Okay. Let me do the wave file. It failed. One of these days. What's going on? Why? Why? Okay, let me see if I can find what I recorded last week. My chapters. The actual chapters that I recorded. Y'all, this is a steep learning curve, I have to tell you. It is quite the learning curve, It is quite a learning curve, and it's just crazy. I can't even. Yeah. Oh, you have to fix your floor. Kelly, do you also do narration? Hi, Michaela. Gotta fix it. Yes. File starts too loud. Or a pop click in the start of the file. What did I do? Oh, so you can record your demo. Yeah. What did I do? Oh, God. Is it me? Is it all my throat gurgles? And it's not. The room is loud. The room is loud. Even with the vent covered. Yeah. My RMS is minus 19. I think it's supposed to be minus 60 or below. Well, we're going to keep testing and we're going to keep learning. It's the only way, right? It's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way. All right. Performance bundle. Secret flash sale. How much is it? I think I follow Maria McCann. Okay, 197. Yeah, I can do that right now. So I have to buy a new phone. I need to buy his isotope class though. Here we go. All right. RX Jumpstart. You added blankets to the floor. You think that might help? I already have carpets. What kind of blankets? I have moving blankets in my garage. I was just about to post and be like, I need to give these away. Do you think if I put blankets on the floor that will help? We have very heavy acoustic blankets hanging up. Wow. I might have to try that. Yeah. No problem, Stella. I'm gonna dip too. Have a lovely Christmas. See you next week, darling. Have fun and take care of yourself, okay? Speaking of which, I'm gonna dip. Even though it's 11 something, I should try and eat something before I go to bed, and I still have to go pack my breads. So I will see you all tomorrow, darlings. No, I will not see you tomorrow because I'm not gonna have a scheduled live, but I will see you all next week, hopefully. If I pop on live this week, it will not be anything scheduled, so don't worry, you won't miss much. If anything at all, hopefully I'll be able to fix my thing and start recording the 8 chapters that I need to get done by the end of this year. So I will see you all. Bye. Good night.